Hey there traders, welcome to my second trading log of paper trading. So for this week I've got 9 trades, 3 of them were scratches, so I exited for the same price as I entered them, and if I exclude the scratches it's an 83% win rate, but if you include them it's about 55% win rate. But I've got a nice profit factor of 12, so I am pretty happy with that. But it has been a tough week psychologically. So let's have a look at the SPY. Here is the D1 of the SPY, and you can see that we've had this big old drop followed by this bullish sort of increase drop into the cloud. And so let's take a look at my first trade on Tuesday. My trades on Tuesday were AMD and Amazon. And you can see from AMD that the trade was here. And so you can see how the market gapped down and was looking like a potential gap reversal. And so in AMD, which had relative strength, I took the call, took the trade, and had nice action and exited here. But I made a bit of a mistake and I thought, oh, why did I exit here? And re-entered, unfortunately for a loss, because I could just see that it wasn't really going anywhere, especially on the light volume. Next trade, which was the same day, was Amazon. So Amazon there, and the trade here. So again, same day, so the market has gapped down and was looking like that gap reversal, but then actually just continued down for the day. And what you can see here is that we had a really nice Amazon, SMA 50 break, and then the price just kept rallying on down. But at the SMA 100, then price just kind of hit support and did not continue falling. So I exited the trade. In hindsight, it would have been nice to get in this trade a bit earlier, but this trade was still a nice profit, so I am happy with it. But definitely need to be cautious of those simple moving averages down below. Right, we've got 3 scratches. I'll just go over those briefly. Ball, SLB, and AVGO. So we've got Ball. So here, this was a scratch. So market was up, but the stock was just moving sideways, and I just exited for the same price that I entered it at. SLB in here. Once again, it was bullish market day, bullish stock kind of, but it wasn't going anywhere fast. And I wondered if it was a mistake because of the sort of bullish D1 and market. And indeed it might have been, because here was the next day where I watched this candle go up, and I could have taken profit theoretically if I had still been in the trade. I would have been there watching it. Well, I was just not in the trade. So, I'm fairly happy that I didn't take any loss, but it would have been nicer to improve on that. And finally, AVGO. Once again, little scratch here. So this was this morning, and you can see how the market potentially in these first few candles look potentially bearish, but actually the market very quickly turned against me. So you can see here I exited very quickly for a scratch. Finally, we've got 2 pretty darn good trades of the day, and that is Meta. So where is Meta? There you are. So Meta had a pretty nice D1. The downside is that the options were really expensive, 1,600 you can see here. So because at the time I only had about 1,200 in the account, 1,400 maybe, I was forced into a zero. I mean, these are 2,200. So I was forced to a 0 data expiry option, which I took, but is not Wiki. So just because I did it doesn't mean you should do it. Anyway, I took the trade here. The market was bullish. The stock was bullish, relative strength. And I exited here for a 54% gain. And this was a very tight leash, so I exited the moment it turned against me. I don't care if this thing's going to the moon afterward. It turned against me. It's 0 data expiry option. It's hot potato. Exit it, because yeah. So yeah, don't do that yourself. But I did do that. But yeah, that is not Wiki recommended. And finally, we have Amazon. Again, because I also traded Amazon on Tuesday, and I'm not sure why this is showing 2 Amazon trades, because I definitely only had the 1 trade, so I'll have to just sort that out. Tell you what, I'll get back to you. I've worked out what happened. It looks like the either user error, as in me, or like mobile app problems. And so if we look in Think or Swim, it seems to have actually exited me for 520. No, I entered for 520 and then exited at 655. But then for some reason re-entered at 685. I do remember clicking some weird buttons in the mobile app to cancel something in order. So yeah, I will leave the trade as is in like the Reddit, just with that caveat. So from a psychological point of view, I'm going to treat that as 1 trade, but that's a bit annoying. So anyway, that trade was a classic, bullish market. Bullish market, bullish stock, big market move up here. Stock had relative strength, all the indicators are nice and green, all the stuff we want. And the D1 was, whereas the earlier trade was bearish, it was now a very bullish D1 break through the cloud. So yeah, overall I was happy with this trade, despite mobile app weirdness that I apologize for. So yeah, so that is all of the trades. Yeah, that is all trades of this week, with we'll call it a very rough win rate, especially because of that additional trade that would have probably counted as a win that I didn't even intend to make. So we'll count this as a rough estimate, yeah, see you in the next video or in the next trading week. Bye bye.